Elijah Thomas had always felt different. Even when surrounded by people, it was as if he were walking a separate path, not because he was lost, but because he had been called, chosen. There was a quiet knowing in his soul, a whisper that said, "You don't belong where the world expects you to." And for years, he tried to blend in, not realizing he was never meant to. Not everyone is born the same. Some carry invisible signals, 3 spiritual marks that only those chosen by God possess. These are not titles Elijah wore. They are truths he lived. He had sensed them all his life, but never had the words to name them. Until one day, something within him woke up. And from that moment on, he could not go back to sleep. Mark 1, spiritual sensitivity. Elijah sensed things before they happened. A glance, a smile, a space. He noticed what others missed. Sometimes it was a heaviness in the room, a nudge in his chest, a quiet unease that couldn't be explained. Like Elisha, who heard the whispers of enemies not with ears, but through the Spirit of God. It was a kind of discernment that didn't ask for proof. It simply knew. People had called him too sensitive. But what if that sensitivity was his gift? He didn't need explanations. His soul always knew first. Mark 2, the inner compass. There were times when everything looked perfect, yet something in Elijah's spirit said, no. That voice, gentle but firm, was God steering him. He had walked away from opportunities others would chase, not out of fear, but out of obedience. He had learned to trust that small voice, and it had never led him astray. The more he listened, the clearer it became. He stopped wandering. He began living with precision. His steps no longer felt wasted. They felt guided. Mark 3, creative mind. Elijah's thoughts were more than thoughts. They were prayers in motion. When he visualized something with faith, the world responded, because his mind, surrendered to God, had become a sacred tool. He didn't just react to life, he helped shape it. Not because he was powerful, but because he was aligned with the source of all creation. What he imagined with a trusting heart began to unfold in reality. His thoughts carried unseen energy, and heaven listened. Elijah Thomas was not created to blend in. He was chosen to shine, quietly but unmistakably. Even without words, his presence changed the room. When he stepped into a place, something shifted, not by force, but by spirit. So, if you've always felt different, maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe it's a message. You, like Elijah, are not just carrying the mark. You are the sign. You are living proof that God still places his fingerprint on human souls. And now that you remember who you are, will you finally live like it? Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs light. It needs the ones who carry quiet power, sacred clarity, and unwavering peace. It needs the ones who don't need to be seen, to see. So rise, chosen one. This is your time. Walk as if heaven walks with you, because it does. And if you forget, pause, breathe. Return to the truth that was planted in you from the beginning. You don't have to prove your worth. You just have to align with it. Let the world wonder how you glow without a spotlight, how you lead without a title. Because your presence was never about performance. It was always about purpose.